What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, DN Dual Commentary. So we have CZRY Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Char Yu-Gi-Oh! It almost looks like it should be called Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh! That makes more sense. 1471 versus Apocalypsis FC. Okay, 1762. And despite their huge gap in ratings, I mean, you're talking about 300 points here. Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh! Pretty much destroyed him game one. He's playing a light sworn, light rate variant. I'm not quite sure what Apocalypsis FC is playing. I mean, all I saw were really hand cards in the first game. The fact that he plays Card Trooper now leads me to think that this is the hat deck. I'm not sure that he did shuffle, actually. We're just going to call him FC and Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh! So, FC plays Karkardi, obviously wanting to get that +1. And play goes to Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh! Who, I mean, he has a game to play around with, even if he does lose this, you know. It's hard going second in Yu-Gi-Oh! Not to mention, when your opponent opens up with a +1, it's even more hard. So, you see that he plays Solar Recharge. He discards Garaf for a couple more cards. Okay, he hits Redox. Oh, you know what? This isn't just Light Rays. He's playing Chaos Dragon type deal too. He's playing like Eclipse Wyverns and all types of stuff in here. I don't know if he's playing like Red Eyes and like the full Monty, but you know, he's playing a lot of interesting tech. I'm talking Needlebug, Nest, and all types of shit. So you see that Lumina comes down and he pitches Eclipse Wyvern, probably targeting Garaf. And Eclipse Wyvern will trigger. Okay, so he's going to DD Crow the Garaf probably. Regardless, Eclipse Wyvern's still going to trigger, so I mean, he can get the JD or Red Eyes or something early. Alright, so Garaf gets hit by DD Crow. That's still, well, I guess it's a 1-for-1. I mean, DD Crow essentially was traded for the Eclipse Wyvern, sorta. Eclipse Wyvern is like, I guess, a half plus, because it's like a plus, but you gotta wait for it, I guess. It's kind of like, you know, I don't know if you can say it becomes a, well, yeah, it becomes a full plus when you get the JD. Alright, so Lumina attacks into a D Prison, which FC can afford because, you know, he started out the duel with Karkardi, so he already had a bunch of cards to spend, so it's not like, you know, why not use your 1-for-1s? Now, Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh! Plays Charger Light Brigade. He hits Blaster and Wolf, so he just went plus with the Wolf. I mean, he was ripping them all game one, by the way. He was ripping Wolf like fucking crazy. He gets Aaron, which is a card that I don't even see a lot of people playing. I couldn't imagine they're going to play Aaron after the new Light Sworn guy comes out. Whoa, did he not? Okay, I was going to say, did he not get Wolf? Why wouldn't he get Wolf? Wolf is amazing. It's just like a free 2100 beater. I mean, yeah, your opponent can 101 it, but that means they have to go into 101 just to get a Wolf off board, which you got for free anyway. Like, okay, your opponent is going to ram it with the hand monster, but I don't feel bad about that, because I'd rather, you know, make you waste your fire hand on a Wolf that I got for free then you ram it into a good monster that I have that I don't want to die. So, does Wolf have claws? Is it me or does he have like Wolverine claws? I mean, he's a fucking wolf, even though he does look like a sort of man. So why the fuck would he need claws? I mean, I've never seen a wolf that's walking around with like, you know, clawing people. Usually they bite and shit. I don't know. But he's also wearing pants, so why should I even question anything else? Alright, so FC basically, he attacked directly with Ice Hand, and then he decides to just completely wall up. Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh! Throws down Card Trooper, the perfect counter, because your opponent already burnt one D Prison. I mean, do you believe that he has a second D Prison? Oh my lord, he's ripping these Dragon Rulers like crazy. His mills are ridiculous. They really are. He goes to battle phase, and he's just going to attack Ice Hand. And, man, this duel right now has just been pure domination by Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, I don't know if FC can't, like, make a beat on his deck or what, but right now he's just destroying him. He summons Traptrix Dianara, and he attacks, and I think Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh! Is probably going to take the damage and get the draw, because here's the thing. At any point, he can remove Eclipse Wyvern to summon one of those Dragon Rulers and then get JD back. So, I mean, he'll go plus crazy. And it's not like, you know, you can Black Horn that. So crazy, okay, alright, I was going to say, why would Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh pass? FC passes after setting a card. Play goes to Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh. I think Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh is going to explode on him right now. You see that he normal summons the Debris Dragon, probably wanting to get Trooper, and he's probably going to mill from Trooper. Assuming that FC doesn't go, assuming FC doesn't use like Breakthrough Skill or something, but I think he's going to go for Trooper. Okay, so he targets Card Trooper, and FC plays the Transmigration Prophecy, which I forgot even existed. He's going to put Card Trooper back, and what else? I would imagine one of those Dragon Rulers. Okay, he puts Wyvern back because he doesn't want it to get banished and get JD. JD is just a serious effing problem. So, if I'm not mistaken, I think JD just stays banished forever, right? Yeah, I don't think you can ever get the JD back now. I could be wrong about that, but I think JD just stays banished, like, he's kind of like in purgatory. So, even though he lost his Card Trooper, his target for Debris Dragon, he could actually banish the JD that he has in Graveyard. Oh, he just passes. I'm kind of surprised that he didn't try and summon a Dragon Ruler and then go for Star Eater. I mean, that would have made a lot of sense. So you see that FC is, well, I mean, that's quite a pop duality. Two Myrmilios and a Dayanara. I mean, that's not even like a real choice. You take Myrmilio because that gets you pluses. Dayanara is not good in that situation because you can't even special summon. Not to mention it just wouldn't do anything. So, getting 3 Trap Trick monsters from a duality. I don't think I've ever seen that in my life. If FC is going to fight back, he has to kind of make his stand now, and obviously it's going to be with traps. That Transmigration Prophecy was a neg, but I mean, it seems like it had some sort of impact. So, it looks like he's either going to get a Trap Tricks Nightmare or a Bottomless Trap Hole. They're both good. So, you know. Alright, so he takes his free Bottomless Trap Hole, which maybe that's why Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh should have summoned that Dragon Ruler last turn. Alright, so Debris Dragon goes down. And he should attack for 17. You know, he can actually make Abyss Dweller here. He might actually be able to just flat out win with all of his back row plus an Abyss Dweller. That's kind of hard to fight through. Okay, so Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh goes Card Trooper. And I imagine he's... Oh, never mind. It falls into Solemn Warning. And now it's like, you know, it would have... Abyss Dweller looks even better now because your opponent tries to summon a Dragon Ruler and you're just like, nope, Abyss Dweller. No Dragon Rulers. They're not coming out. Alright, so we see Blaster comes out. And that gets bottomless. So, that just dies. I think he has a Redox in there too. And he's got a bunch of Card Troopers. He can banish those Card Troopers to summon Redox if he wants. Alright, so he banishes Title and Card Trooper to summon Redox. Does he have any Title targets in this deck? That's the question I have to wonder. He doesn't. Or at least he doesn't have any left in his deck to search. He puts Redox in defense mode, but unfortunately all he has to do is make Black Ship of Corn, and he can just get rid of Redox. Nope. He goes Heartland Draco. And I think he's going to just try and attack directly. I don't know about that call, because he does sort of have like Necro Gardener there, so... Okay, he decides to go ahead and take the attack. And during the end phase, Redox obviously goes to the hand. And I say that because what if he has debunk? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, if he debunks, if he had debunk, he would have had to burn it there, but you'd still have 3,000 life points. Alright, so Redox is going to activate his Call of the Haunted effect, or his Monster Reborn effect, and he's going to target Card Trooper. And Card Trooper is going to get banished. Damn, that is some bad luck for Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh! That's the second time that he's been DD Crow'd this game, and both times they've been pretty pivotal. So Lumina comes down, and maybe Lumina will be able to get her effect off this time. Okay, so Lumina's going to pitch. Lumina pitches Necro Gardener, so actually he can stop a couple of attacks now. and that gets Wolf. Wolf can actually beat over Heartland Draco. That's crazy, right? Wolf attacks, and Wolf gets the job done. Wolf just straight up attacks over Heartland Draco. If he has a Trap Trick Trap-O Nightmare, it's not going to work on either one of these monsters. So they both get it in for 1100 damage. And during the end phase, he's going to mill 2 MSTs and a Tempest. That's a good mill for Tempest anyway, because he has the cards in his graveyard to summon Tempest. The 2 MSTs, not so good. Oh, and you know what? Actually, him ripping that Dianara, that might be game, because he can actually go for, he can just go for, okay, I don't know why Bottomless went to the hand. Is that what happens? Okay. Let me see. Oh, okay, you said it. Anyways, all he has to do is go for Black Ship of Corn on Lumina, and then he just wins. Now, again, that's why I thought that he should have used, I thought that he shouldn't have took that Heartland Draco attack. 2,000 damage just seemed like too much. It seemed like too much to just take at that point when you were only at 3,000. Because think about it. What if your opponent would have made Cowboy in defense and been able to get its effect off twice? They could still win that way. I would have rather just had the life points. I wouldn't have let my opponent attack for 2,000. I felt like the life points were actually important in that situation, just because I don't want to be at 1,000 or less. Like if I was at 1,500, okay, that's different. So anyways, Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh opens up with Kouri Bandit, and obviously his deck likes the mill. He sees Charge of the Light Brigade, which is a card he'll probably look at taking. Necro Gardener, another Necro Gardener, and a Wolf. Fucking jeez. So he summons Wolf, and he's going to take the only Speller Trap that he could get, which was Charge of the Light Brigade. And you want to talk about epic mills. I mean, that was already a +1 by the Wolf, and he has 2 attack negations in Necro Gardener. I mean, it doesn't really get any much, like, it doesn't get better than that. Basically, FC is going to need definitely a Fire Hand to try and counter here. So, Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh! Goes Charge of the Light Brigade, obviously. He mills Blaster, good mill, Card Trooper, and Redox. The mills have been ridiculous for Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh! This game. I mean, I constantly see sometimes Asian Ice, he's talking about Lightsworn, and I'm like, nah, dude, you can't play Lightsworn. I think it's bad, but now it's kind of looking like, is it really bad? Because sometimes you get the mill going, man, and it's just, your opponent can't do anything. Alright, so you see Lumina comes down. Lumina pitches Aaron. I think he's going to, obviously, DD Crow to Aaron. He wanted to go for Aaron. I mean, that just makes the most sense. But the DD Crows are, I mean, they seem to be pretty clutch here. I don't know if you, well, I guess at some point you have to attack the face down. You see he activates Needlebug's Nest. This is the card I was talking about. It just mills 5 cards from the top of your deck. And he gets Tempest, another Needlebug, MST, that's no good. Equips Wyvern, I think that's exactly what he was looking for. Equips Wyvern is, this might seal him the game, because Equips Wyvern should be able to get him either JD or one of his crazy Light Lords, or you guys know the ones, the like Light Rays, yeah, like Light Ray Diablos or one of those crazy cards. He goes for JD. I imagine he's going to probably summon a Dragon Ruler right now, so that he can get JD to hand. I mean, he may not. He only has, I don't know if he has any names in the graveyard right now. I think he has 0. I mean, he has 2 on field, obviously. So you see he removes, okay, so he summons Redox by removing Equips Wyvern and Card Trooper, which means JD's going to hand, so technically that was a plus. And he can't actually do anything with this board. It's weird. He's got a level 7, a 4, and a 3, and he can't do shit with them. You know? Oh, no, okay. So he banishes Blaster and Debris Dragon to go into Tempest. And it looks like he's going to exceed. I guess he actually has a Tempest target, but he doesn't have targets for, like, the other guys. He goes into Big Eye. He's going to Snatch Steal his face down. And if this is level 4, which it's Ice Hand, he could have just attacked it. But I mean, hindsight 2020, he doesn't know it's Ice Hand. I imagine he's gonna go rank 4. I don't know what into. I would like to think that Daigusto Emerald is a very good card here because it lets you recoup some of like the negs you took by banishing your Dragon Rulers. You know what I mean? Or you can go Lavalval Chain and you could just send like a wolf to the you could send a wolf straight to the deck to the from the deck to the graveyard and just go plus. You know, that'd pay for the Lavalval Chain, and that's exactly what he does. He goes Lavalval Chain, he detaches wolf, and what's he gonna do? Okay, so he dumps another Eclipse Wyvern, and that gets him another JD. Alright, so clearly he's looking for the knockout punches with the JD. At this point, I think he's going to make FC fight his field, and then when FC uses all his resources fighting against Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh's field, that's when you go for the knockout punch. You summon the JDs and you just go, okay, you know, torch everything. And if your opponent doesn't have any cards left because they've used them all trying to get rid of these, then, you know, JD just comes and just cleans up, you know. Especially considering after one JD nuke, he can just summon another one, and that's 6k damage. And he just milled a Raikou, so he's really close. And Magic Fiend looks good, but there is no way for him to summon it. And Crazy Yu-Gi-Oh! Pulls off a pretty big upset. I mean, again, there was a 300 rating difference, and he made it look fairly easy. Thank you guys for watching, as always.